I go a million miles away, I'd write a letter each and every day, 'cause honey, nothing.
Shanna is very beautiful, olive skin, beautiful green eyes, gorgeous hair, very, very athletic. That's one of the biggest turn-ons for me, was just how athletic she is. Great butt.
Hi, I'm Shanna. I was born in San Jose, California, 24 years old. We moved to Penn Valley when I was about 3 or 4 years old, I believe, and grew up in Lake Wildwood until I was about, I think, 10 or 11. Then we moved outside of Lake Wildwood. So most of my childhood was spent growing up in Lake Wildwood. And that was like my first basketball team ever. I was like this little pipsqueak. You'll see the picture. It's hilarious. Like the ball was bigger than my whole body. And my dad coached it with one of my friend's dads, and that was just what pretty much started it all, and it was so much fun. And it wasn't like having a typical dad, like as your coach. Like he probably yelled at me more than anybody else. And
that's dad coach.
Yeah, seriously. Like what the heck's wrong with you? But yeah. I went to Nevada Union High School here in town. I loved it. I had so much fun. It was hard the first, like my freshman year. It was just kind of, you know, rough, but I got into basketball right away and just, I loved it. I wish I could go back. Literally, those were lifelong friends. I had met most of my bridesmaids, or half of them are from high school and half of them are from college basketball.
I am Cody Rice. I was born in Newark, Ohio. There wasn't really a lot of cell phones and tablets, so we were always, we were playing. I mean, we had like a tennis court growing up in Heathwood Village, where I lived at, an apartment complex, and all the kids from the neighborhood, we'd go there and play. We made the tennis court like a diamond instead of it was like a big square, but we made it a diamond. That was our baseball field. So, yeah, you played all sports and pretty much rode bikes, and that's what I did.
It was a beautiful day, the sun beat down, I had the radio on, I was driving, trees went by, me and Dell were singing Little Runaway. I was flying, yeah, running down a dream that never would come to me, working on a mystery, going wherever it leads, running down.
2008, I'd go in, I went to Fort Benning, Georgia, and Sand Hill, where infantrymen go.
Right.
So I did my basic training there, broke my foot, so I had to stay a little longer than most people would, because I'm just full of injuries, I guess. So I waited a little bit, and I finally graduated in November of 2008, Graduated, went straight to airborne school. Airborne school, 3 weeks, jumped out of planes, we got like 5 jumps. And then went straight to Fort Bragg where I started Special Forces stuff. Luckily, I got sent to Italy. So they were like, there you go, you're airborne, you got an airborne unit in Italy, go ahead. So I was like, yeah, that's cool. Well, and the 173rd is a very prestigious unit, so we pretty much were year on, year off. Like, we deploy, come back home for a year or two, deploy again. I went on my second deployment in July 2012 to Logar Province, Kop Chark in Afghanistan. Yeah, so we're doing patrols. We set up security checkpoints. We would do observation posts. Anything really like presence patrols to show that we are there. And then on August 11th, 2012 is when I got injured.
I'm gonna pick up the pieces and build a Lego house. If things go wrong, we can knock it down. My 3 words have 2 meanings, but there's one thing on my mind. It's all for you. And it's dark in a cold December, but I got you to keep me warm. If you're broken, I will mend you, and I keep you sheltered from the storm that's raging on. Now I'm out of touch, I'm out of love. I'll pick you up when you're getting down. And
I went to school the next like week or 2, and there was a study abroad program to Italy. I was like, sweet, I'm gonna go to Italy instead. Screw the bike, I'm gonna go to Italy. We went to class, they walked us around town, everything, and then around like 4 or 5 o'clock, they're like, okay, you're allowed to go home, do whatever you want. And we're like, woohoo, we're gonna go party. Obviously, we're all underage and you're allowed to drink here, we're gonna go party it up. So actually, the first night I was there, that's when I met him, and the first bar we went to.
We would go to Florence all the time just to party and have fun. It was I love that city. We would go to an Americanized bar called Astor.
We finally just sat down. There was like 4 or 5 of us, and we sat down, and I was like, oh cool, I'm gonna go order my first drink at a bar. Like, ooh, I'm not of age yet, I'm gonna go. So I walk up to the bar, and I kind of noticed somebody standing next to me, but he kind of had like his back turned, so I was like, okay, whatever. So I was trying to order a drink with the bartender, but I couldn't understand him, he couldn't understand me, so I was like, it ended up working out. And so I noticed the guy standing next to me more, and I was like, oh, he's kind of cute, maybe I'll start talking to him. So I was like, oh hey, what are you drinking? And he's like, oh, I'm drinking a vodka Red Bull. And like totally shut me off. Like, I was like, what the hell?
It was ran and operated by an American guy that like we all kind of knew. So we love that bar. And yeah, that one night we went up there. I went up to the bar to get a drink, and this girl comes up to the side, they grab beside me, and I'm like, all right, cool. It's like, she's hot. She's very good looking. I remember saying, hey, hello, how are you?
And we finally like turned around and we started talking, and I think we actually ended up sitting at the bar for like 30 or 40 minutes and talking to each other. My friends were like, what the heck are you doing? Like, where'd you go? Like, are you okay? And then I think at that point his friends came around and were like, what? Like, what's going on? You've been gone forever. Like, and then just headed off. But he actually, when we were talking, what got me interested in him was he told me he was a marine biologist. So I was like, oh, like, what are you doing here? Like, why are you in Italy? And he's like, oh, I'm actually a marine biologist, and I'm here studying mollusks and crustaceans. And I was like, oh my God, I love that. I want to study sharks and dolphins. And he's like, oh no, I'm just kidding. I'm in the Army. I was like, oh my God, are you kidding me? I was like, no, why did you say that? Yeah. Like, what's wrong with you?
So happy together. I can't see me loving nobody but you for all my life. When you're with me, baby, the skies will be blue for all my life.
I was very strong. I was very strong. So I came in for the first kiss. I know that. And I'm pretty sure it wasn't just a little peck.
Was it a hot one?
I think it was a pretty hot kiss.
So next thing I know, he swooped in and kissed me.
Was it good? Well, I mean, was it a mind blower? Or was it sweet?
Good. It was more sweet than anything.
All right.
I can't see me loving nobody but you for all my life. When you're with me, baby, the skies will be blue for all my life.
Cody is probably one of the funniest people I've ever met. He is never in a bad mood. Maybe like a handful of times I've ever seen him in a bad mood. It's normally towards me because I'm being a brat. But he always can make everybody laugh. He's always the light of the room.
Shanna is one of the most caring people on this earth. Laughs at everything, like literally the dumbest stuff she is cracking up about. And that's why I love her, because I'm a comedian pretty much. I'm a clown all the time, so I can make her laugh like all the time. So she comes home from work. You know, I have the ring on her. I put Daisy's little, she has like a harness thing, and I put the ring on it, on her back, like pretty noticeable. She walks in her work clothes and her scrubs, and she's like, "Oh, hey Daisy," and blah, blah, patting her, and I'm like, "Hey, how are you, babe? How was work?" And blah, blah, blah. She didn't even see it. Didn't even see the ring.
I put her thing on and she's been waiting for you like the whole time. I put her vest on and she's like fucking been chilling. Now she's like being crazy.
I got home from work and I was really tired and I was like, eh, whatever. And so it was odd, he was waiting. I saw him inside in the front door. I was like, okay, that's weird. Like, why is he standing inside the front door? Like, that's weird. And so he gave me a hug. "Oh, I'm so happy you're home from work." Like, okay, thank you. Like, why are you standing here? And he's like, "Oh, I don't know. I just saw you come drive in the driveway and I thought I'd say hi." And I was like, okay, whatever. And so he reaches down and grabs the cat, and she has, I love my cats, and so does he. We have like these harnesses for them that are like little dresses. And so she had that on, and I was like, he's like, "Oh, look at her collar." And I was like, "Oh, cool, yeah, she looks really pretty." And I was like hugging her, and I put her back on the ground and walked away, and he was like, "Wait, where are you going?" And I was like, "I'm gonna go sit down, I'm tired, I don't want to do this anymore." Come on.
So I'm like, okay. Pick Daisy up, and I bring her to her. I'm like, hey, I'm like, what's going on? Like, Daisy, something's on her. What's going on? Finally, she looks down, and she's like, "What is that?" I was like, "What? I'm like, what is that?" It's like, "Oh," and then she starts like crying.
The dog, and so he puts the cat on the back of the couch, and I was like, "Okay, what are you doing?" And he's like, "Look at the cat." And I was like, "I already saw her." And he's like, "No, look at her collar." I was like, "Yeah, it looks really cute." Like, and he's like, "No, look at what's on her collar." And I was like,
Are you serious? No, I swear to God.
Can I not move these clothes? Oh my God.
Shauna,
Are you kidding me?
come here.
That's not real.
Will you marry me?
Are you serious?
I swear to God.
Are you serious?
I swear to God.
"Oh, is that a ring?" And he's like, after I was like staring at the ring, like shell shocked, he like got down on one knee, and I just lost it. I was like one of those cry laughs, like, "Oh, no, no." And I think the first thing I said was, "Please, I'm in my work clothes, don't videotape me," because he had his camera there too. And we both just started laughing and crying, and he's like, "Does that mean yes?" And I'm like, "Of course it means yes." And
When I hold her in my arms, I feel like we are one. Like it's supposed to be me and her. I've never felt that with anybody. Here, we're gonna be together for a long time, and because I love her so much. So.
Okay, so when he holds me in his arms, I feel like nothing else in the world matters. We just have this connection that even from when we first met, we both knew. It's just unbelievable chemistry, and He just makes me feel so safe and secure, and like I can be anybody I want to be with him, and he brings out the best in both of us.
Shanna Lee Rice, I love you so much. I'm looking forward to our beautiful marriage together for a long, long time. I love you, Shanna.
Cody, I love you, and no matter what we go through in life, I know I'll always have you. Oh God, you're making me cry. This sucks. We've been through. I can't wait to spend the rest of my life with you.